Hello everyone, I am Divyanshu Kumar and today I will be discussing few questions of Code Forces round 654. So let's start. So the first question was quite easy. It was magical. It was named magical sticks. It was given that you were given sticks numbering from 1 to n, right? And you have to join them such a way that if you join a stick A and B, they become of length A plus B. Then it was given to find the maximum number of sticks you can make of the same length, right? So in this question, it was a simple observation, right? If you have even number of sticks, then you can just join first and last. Similarly, second and second last, and then you will get the length as same, right? 1 plus 4 equal to 5, 2 plus 3 equal to 5. So for even, it was simply n by 2, right? For odd, just consider the even case plus 1, right? Odd is nothing but even plus 1, right? So if you just see the sum of these numbers is equal to the last element itself, then this is nothing but equal to n by 2 plus 1, right? So basically I just did like if n is even, then if n is odd, then just increment n so as I can just do n by 2 and then just output the answer. So that was all in this question, right? So in this second question, it was magical calendar, right? So in this question, we were given that there is a girl who can select n number of days to paint, right? She was given n number of days to paint, and she can select at max k number of days in a week in a calendar, right? So suppose she can, for this case, I think it was given, right, 3 days she has to paint, and the max she can go is up to 4, right? So basically then you have to just output in how many number of ways you can paint the cells by choosing the, the calendar size or the week size as well as the position of coloring, right? So if you see here, my k in this case is equal to 1, and I just painted the 3 blocks, right? I didn't paint, right? That girl painted, right? Another way is here k equal to 2, and she started from the first day, and then 1, 2 and 3, right? Another way is for k equal to 2 again is starting from the last position and then coloring the next 2 days as well, right? And then for k equal to 3, it is like coloring the consecutive blocks. Then for k equal to 4, we have two possible ways, either to start from the first one or to start from the second one, right? But these two are considered similar. Why? Because in the question it was given that any possible combination which can be obtained by just parallelly shifting, the color blocks is same. So if you just see these 3 blocks, if I just shift them to the right, they are the same, right? And another wrong case was if the cells are not in contact, like suppose they do not share a common edge. Suppose for n equal to 4, k equal to 4, again I will try to paint 4 blocks in a wrong way. What can be the wrong way here, right? So basically one wrong way can be if I am choosing one here and then the next 2 will be here, right? So these 3 blocks, these 2 are in contact, but this one is out of contact. So this is an invalid solution, right? So in this case, if you look closely, so only way you can have the number of blocks in contact is if it is less than equal to k, right? And that too when it is equal to k for 3 blocks, the only possible way is to just fill them in 1 week. Otherwise, if you try to fill them separately, like see here also it was k equal to 3, and if I try to fill it separately, these blocks will not be in touch, right? So the only way to fill them, we can go at max is less than equal to the k value, right? So basically if for given n, suppose if n equal to 3 and if I go for n equal to 5 or 4, only possible way is just to fill them in one single row, and these are all similar only because if you see either this or this, they are all same. They can be just obtained by shifting them parallelly, right? So up and down as well, right? So that's why these two cases are same. So at max we have to go till the n value only, right? So here if you see as well, right? So how many ways can you get 1? Like if you have k equal to 1, then only possible way is to just paint one column, right? So you will have only one way, right? And then for k equal to 2, you have two positions to start from where you can start actually, right? Let me go to the previous slide and then we can get a better idea. For k equal to 2, either you can start from the first block or you can start from the second block, right? Either from the first block or from the second block, right? So similarly for third block, if suppose I had 3, k equal to 3 and I had much more to paint like n equal to 5, then how many places can I start? I can start from the first place, I can start from the second place. Suppose if I start from the second place, right, or the first place, then I will have something like this, right? But if I decide to start from the second place, right, then what I can have is this combination. Suppose if I again decide to start from the third place, right, again I can have here one more place, that is this, right, something like this. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, something like this. But if I decide to again empty the third row as well, right, then I will be left with again the same combination which I have obtained earlier, right? So the only maximum number of ways you can go is at max up to n positions we can go, right? So for 2 we can go to 2 places, for 3 we can go to 3 places, for 4 we can go to 4 places, for 5 we can go to 5 places. Similarly, right, if it is greater than k. But suppose what is the 6? Suppose you have k equal to 6 at max, right? Suppose in fifth, for k equal to 5 and n equal to 6, suppose n was equal to 6, right? Then for k equal to 5 you can paint it in 5 different ways, right? You can start from the first block, second block, third block, fourth block or fifth block. But what is the case of k equal to 6? Then you have only one possible way to fill it, that is just filling them horizontally, right? So then you have 6 only one way. So if you see these numbers, these are what? These is the sum of first n numbers, that is nothing but n into n plus 1 by 2, right? So that is sum of the first n numbers plus 1 is for this, that too if and only if, right, k is greater than n, right? So similarly let's go to the solution. This was pretty easy, right? So basically what I did is I did take the input n and r, and then I'm calculating the minimum of n and r. So if d is equal to n, d minus minus, why d I did minus minus? Because I'm calculating this n into n plus 1 by 2. So suppose it was 6, then I should calculate for only first 5 numbers, then for 6 I should add, right? But what if, let me show you another case. Let me show like suppose k was only equal to 4 and then you have n equal to 6, right? Then you can of course go till 4, right? 4 is not an issue. You can choose any place, first, second, third, fourth. Suppose I chose first one, then I will have this combination. Similarly, if I choose the second place, then I will have this kind of combination, 3 3 6, right? Exactly, 3 3 6. And similarly for third and fourth as well. So when k is less than n, then I don't have to do a minus minus. So for the minimum value of till k values, I can choose any number of values, right? So that's why. And then if minimum of n and r was equal to n, then I'm adding res plus plus for that base case where I can just choose one horizontal row and then just outputting the answer, right? So let's go to the next question. So this was a good question. So the problem C, a cookie for you. In this question we were given that we have A vanilla cookies and B chocolate cookies, and then there are two type of guests which we invite. Now guest one is a good guest, so whenever he comes up, he will check like which cookie has the greater amount, he will take that cookie, right? Suppose vanilla cookie is greater amount, he will just take vanilla cookie, very understanding in nature. But the second guest, he is not so understanding. What he will do, if the vanilla cookie is greater than chocolate cookie, then he will take chocolate cookie. So the cookie he will take, that is the minimum number of cookies, means like the cookie with the minimum number, right? Else he will choose a vanilla cookie. So let's see, in this question, one example we'll consider. Suppose we had two vanilla chocolates, two vanilla cookies and two chocolate cookies, and then we had one guest of type 1 and two guests of type 2, and then we have to output like whether it is possible to get to not make any guest angry. By not making any guest angry means like any guest, all the guests should be given cookies, right? So basically if the order is 1 2 2, then suppose the first guest comes, he will see like two vanilla, two chocolate, so he will take chocolate, because here vanilla is equal to chocolate, so he will take chocolate. So he took one chocolate, then we have two vanilla and one chocolate left. Similarly, when guest 2 will come, he will see like I have two vanilla and one chocolate, right? So he will take chocolate cookie. Why? Because he takes the less one, right? And then again when the second guest comes, he will again see I have two vanilla and zero chocolate. Then 0 is less than 2, right? So he will again try to take a chocolate cookie and he won't get that. Then he will be angry. So another permutation is possible. Like suppose the guest 1 2 comes first, and then he will take a vanilla cookie because vanilla is equal to chocolate. So here he will take vanilla cookie. Then suppose a guest 1 comes, so he will see like 2 is greater than 1, so he will take one chocolate cookie, right? And then again when a guest of type 2 comes, then he will take one vanilla cookie, because 1 is equal to 1, so he will take 1 is equal to 1, so means like vanilla is equal to chocolate, so he will take vanilla here, right? So then we'll be left with 0 vanilla and 1 chocolate. So but here in this case we did serve all the guests, right? So by now you should have seen like the best sequence is alternating sequence, like 2 1 something like this. If I go, I will be able to satisfy the guests, right? So here we have alternating sequence, and then once the alternating sequence is done, right, I should serve the guest of type 2 first. Why? Because they take the cookies of the amount which is less, but the guest 1 is very understanding, he will just take any cookie which is left, right? So if a plus b is less than n plus m, then we have an impossible solution. Why? Because suppose you have 20 guests and you have only 10 cookies to serve, like obviously you cannot serve all the 20 guests, right? So the cookie count is obviously, it should be greater than or equal to at least the number of guests, right? And then so suppose if I just alternate the sequence 2 1 2 1 2 1, then till I either get done with 2 or get done with 1, right? So I will just keep on alternating the sequence so as the number of cookies required is is optimized, right? And then suppose then if I am left with the person of type 2, then I will just try to serve him if I can, right? If I can. How I can or cannot, like suppose till here I did serve all the cookies to the guests, right? I was able to successfully serve them, and then I have 5 vanilla here and only 1 chocolate here, right? So what the guest of type 2 will do, he will try to take the cookie which is in less amount, right? So here the cookie which is in less amount is chocolate, right? So once he will take the chocolate, this guest will get angry, right? So here the condition to check is after an alternating sequence is done, right, how many cookies do I have left of the minimum flavor, right? If the minimum flavor cookie left is greater than suppose minimum flavor is greater than guest 2 count left, then I can serve them all, greater than equal to, right? But if it is less than, right, then means like at least one of the guests will get angry, right? This is the only solution which was required. I think in this question it was required to see like how you decide to come up with an alternating sequence. That is the most optimal way to serve the guest, right? So the code is simple. So if I have a plus b is less than m, then the answer is no, I cannot serve them obviously, right? I don't have enough cookies. And then I'm just checking like minimum of n comma n for the alternating sequence, like how many alternating sequence I will have. That is nothing but d. So this is number of alternating sequence, right? And then if the minimum count of d is greater than a or greater than b, so means like I don't have at least d chocolate cookies or vanilla cookies, then I can not have a alternating sequence, right? Because then at least one guest will get angry. Then answer in this case will also be no, right? If this is done, so means like I did serve d guest of type 1 and d guest of type 2, and similarly d type of chocolate and vanilla cookies are over, right? Now if the m is nothing but the guest of type 2, if the number of guest of type 2 is greater than minimum of a and b, means like how many number of vanilla and chocolate cookies I am left with, the minimum of that, if it is greater than if it is less than m, then the answer is no, because then at least one guest will go angry, right? Else the answer is yes. So this was a simple problem, right? So this was one solution. Only in this question you were required to figure out the correct sequence, right? So that was, I think, the challenge here, right? So let's go to the next question. So this was an interesting question. So this is problem D, grid, right? And then we were given that you have to form a n cross n grid with k ones in it, right? You have to fill k ones in the binary matrix, right? And then you have to minimize this function. This function is nothing but maximum of any row minus minimum of row whole square plus maximum of column minus minimum of column, right? Where r is nothing but summation of suppose I have to find r1, then r1 is nothing but r1 r1 comma 1 plus r1 comma 2, sorry, a, this should be, if a is the matrix, I think, right? If a is the matrix, then it is a1 comma 1, a1 comma 2, a1 comma 3, right, plus a1 comma n, right? So basically the sum of first row, and similarly the column is sum of the first column, okay? And then basically you have to minimize this, right? So when we are talking about minimizing, so means the maximum and the minimum should be as close as possible. Now this function of fx will have 0 or it will have only value 0 or 2. Then how we can conclude that, right? So let's see how we can conclude that, right? So let's, for an example, just forget about the matrix, consider there are buckets, and then you have to fill them in such a way that you minimize the difference between maximum and minimum. Just think that for a moment, right? Then what you can do, you can just fill one plate here, one plate, one thing here, one here, one here. Now means like I'm trying to evenly distribute the things, right? And suppose I had to distribute n equal to 6 plates, and then 4 I distributed like this, then 2 I can do 1 and 2. So here the max will be 2 and the min will be 1, and then the difference will be nothing but 1, right? But suppose if you try to decide like, okay, no, what I will do is I will fill 3 in each of the buckets, but other 2 I will keep empty, right? Then the maximum here will be 3 and the minimum will be 0. Then your answer will be 3 minus 0 is 3, right? And then you have to again square this, right? So if I am considering how to optimize this, right? So there are two ways to fill. Either I can fill all the buckets with equal number of ones, right? And then that will give me a difference of 0. Then max will be also equal to 2 and the min will be also equal to 2. Then I will have a difference of 0, right? But this is possible only when n, suppose I have to fill k and then there are n rows. So if this is equal to 0, right? Then only this is possible. Then you will get a difference of 0. If otherwise you will get always a difference of 1. Why? Let's take another example, right? So let's just say here in this case we'll try, right? Again with 4 buckets only. Okay, so let's try. So in this case, let's try with, let's go with 11. Okay, so I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, 11 will also be giving me, the max as 3 and the min as 2, and then again the difference will be 1. Why so? Because this is a simple, division kind of thing, right? So what is happening here is I am writing k equal to n into m plus, some amount of d that is remaining, and that will be less than n, right? So a some amount of buckets will contain only one extra uh, one, right? Suppose if you see here, right, so three buckets are containing one extra, right? And if I write this 11 equal to 4 into 2 plus 3, right? So basically 3 buckets will contain one extra one, and other will be containing simple 2, right? So similarly I can arrange this number in rows and columns, right? So if I go back and see here, so this value I can either get 1 or 0, right? So if I get 1, then I will have 1 square plus 1 square, that will give me 2, and here I will have either 0 square plus 0 square, so that will give me 0. So my answer will be either 2 or 0. Now I hope you got this, why it will be only 0 or 2. And the same thing goes with C, and it was given that k is less than n square, right? Obviously if you have to fill them in a matrix, like you cannot have the number of ones to fill greater than n square, obviously. Okay, then let's go. So how to fill the matrix? But now let's just say like my answer was 0, suppose, right? Let's try to fill. Here we have okay, here we have 4 values, right? So 4 rows, right? K equal so n equal to 4 here. So my matrix is 4 cross 4. Now suppose if I just want to fill 1 in each, and how is that? Suppose my k was also equal to 4. Then if I write this equal to, then this is nothing but n into 1 plus 0, right? So means like all the values will be having, all the rows will be having only 1. So what I can do is I can try to fill the diagonal matrix, the diagonal elements, right? 1, 1, 1. So in this case, each row and each column has only 1, 1, right? And similarly, what I can do is I can just fill the adjacent element to the diagonal, cyclic adjacent. Suppose if I am filling this one, then I will try to fill this one next, right? Now if you look, each row and each column has a sum of 2, right? You can check it, right? So this property comes like from the diagonal, like each diagonal is shared by one row and one column. So if I just fill the next cyclic element, so each row and each column will then contain a sum of 2. And similarly for a sum of 3, I can just fill the next cyclic element, this, this. Suppose I was here, then the next cyclic element is here. If I was here, the next cyclic element is here, right? Now each row and each column will have a sum of 3, right? So now this is very easy when the number of, you will say like, okay, this is only the case when I have to fill only even number of ones, right? Or means like when suppose my k is when k is actually divided by n, so means like this condition holds, like k mod n equal to 0, right? Obviously you are right, but how to fill for uneven case? Let's say like, okay, suppose like k mod n is not equal to 0. Let's just consider the case of here we have 5, right? So let's take 5, and then let's just take k equal to here we can say like 12, let's just say. Then 12 is nothing but 5 into 2 plus 2. So basically each of the rows will have, each of the row and column will have 2 elements, and 2 rows and 2 columns will have 1 extra elements, right? This I think I've showed you earlier, right? So if you see here, each the diagonal element is filled and the next cyclic element is filled. So each row has a sum of 2 here, right? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, here also 2, here also 2, right? But how to fill the other two elements? What we can do is, let's try to fill one here, and we'll mark that this row and this column is done, right? So as only we changed one row which is having a sum of 3 here, and one column which is having a sum of 3 here, right? Which was earlier 0, right? We'll not touch the elements which were 1 earlier. Now again, if I'm iterating this for this question, okay, this row is already filled, so I cannot place a 1 here, right? Similarly here, now when I reach here, this row and this column is not touched here, right? So what I will do, I will try to fill 1 here, and then this row is filled and this column is also filled. So this will also be 3 and this will also be 3. So now you have 2 rows and 2 columns with 1 extra, right? So then you'll have, so if you see here, so my row sum is nothing but 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? So 2 rows with a sum of 3 and 3 rows with a sum of 2. So that will give me 6 plus 6, that is 12, right? And similarly column with 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, right? So this will also give me 12, right? So only once you fill the matrix evenly, then just place anywhere the ones which are unevenly placed, right? So the I hope you got this, right? Let's try to see in the code, then we'll get more clarity, right? I took a boolean matrix and then I set each of the elements as 0, and then what I'm trying to say is, if k mod n equal to 0, then my answer will be 0, because why? Each row and each column I can fill it with same number of elements, right? Then for each of the, how many ones do I have to fill in each row and each column, that I calculated by k by n, right? And then for each of that I'm just filling it in cyclic order, right? What I shown you here. First I'm filling the diagonal elements. See, if you see the code here, see, first it is j plus I mod n, right? So it is 0 comma 0. So let me just iterate it for you, 0 comma 0, and then for I equal to 0 here, right? Then we'll go 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, and similarly till n comma n. And for I equal to 1, we'll go for 0 comma 1, 1 comma 2, and n comma 0, right? Why so? Because n plus here n minus 1 actually, right? Because I am taking 0 base matrix, 0 index matrix actually. So this will be n minus 1 and 0. Why? Because when j is n minus 1, I am adding I. For I equal to 1, it is becoming n, mod n is giving me 0. So I am getting in a cyclic order. This is for the second one, this is for the first one, right? So if you see in this case, when I got for j equal to n minus 1, I should get I equal to 0, right? So that this code is just filling the ones in cyclic order to the diagonal elements, right? And then I am just outputting the answer, right? Okay, so what is the other case when k mod n is not equal to 0, right? Then firstly I am just filling the even ones, means like the common ones, with the same code like e equal to k by n. For cyclic order I am just filling it. Then the extra elements, for the extra elements I'm just checking, like if the element at answer at a specific position is equal to 0 and that row is still not filled and that column is also not touched yet, then I'm marking the row and column as touched, and then I'm outputting 1 instead of 0, right? And then I'm subtracting 1 extra. So basically extra is nothing but k mod n. If you look here, my extra was nothing but 12 mod 5, that is equal to 2 here, right? So basically I have to fill just 2 rows and 2 columns here, right? So that only we are doing here. And then if this is not the case, then just output whatever is the answer, right? And then we are just outputting the answer. So basically for this code we have a O of n square complexity into t, right? So basically yes, and why will this pass? Like, okay, obviously first thing is like n was given 300, and second thing is you have to output the answer as well. So you will have to go to O of n square complexity at least, like, because you have to output 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? So O of n square is the minimum complexity you could have gone, and then this is the code for that, right? So if you have any doubts, do mention them in the comment section below. Do subscribe to my channel for more such content, and yeah, happy coding. So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay, thank you. Happy coding.